Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on a bracelet using beads from our SoftFlex Design Challenge Kit Safari. Now I think this is a fun little bracelet, a little different for me because I didn't put any spacers in this baby. Well, unless you count the little tiny green beads as spacers. So let's turn down and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Got the bone SoftFlex beading wire out, just the medium size, and then I've got 7 of the pyramids. Leaves a few in my bag for if I want some to do something else with them. I've got 4 crimp tubes. I've got a clasp from out of my stash. This is a Beading clasp, 2-strand. Then also out of my stash I have these little 2-hole beads. Now I don't remember what they're called, but they are cute. But when I bought them I didn't realize that they were 2-hole, and then they got here and I looked at it and went, huh, 2-hole beads, interesting. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to line our little pyramids up in a row, all 7 of them. Then between them we're going to put one of these little pieces, one on the end also. And then each one of these little, between each one of the pyramids and the little beads, we're going to put a little green bead to act as sort of a spacer between the pyramid and the little, I don't know what they're called, like I said, the other little beads though, like so. And then we'll put one of these on either end of but they all will be going in like that. So let's get some wire out. I'm going to do the first strand on the spool. So we'll just bring some out. And we'll just start stringing. Well, first we'll put a bead stopper on the wire because I don't like my beads sinking. So we'll start with one of the little green ones, and then it will be this fellow. Now make sure when you're stringing these that you have all of your beads going the same direction, because otherwise one will be upside down to the other beads. Come on, babe, go through your hole. So see how that's flipped? When it's finished it won't, it will stay like that. So then each, like I say, between each we have a little green. And make sure you're going the same direction. And we're just going to go straight up the line like this. So I may just fast forward the rest of doing this side because it's pretty obvious what we're doing. Just a little green, the little bumpy one, and a little green, and then the pyramid. So this is our last little bead on this side. So I'm going to take my crimp tube and I'm going to hook it straight to my I'm going to hook this side straight to the crimp tube. Now I'm fairly positive this is about the size I want it, so I'm probably not going to worry about whether the sizing, though we will check the sizing later, but so there we go. I don't think these little greens are going to go through this wire twice, but we'll try it. No, it says definitely not. So we'll get our flush cutters out. I'm going to give this a good tug, make sure it's good and tight, and it is. So then we're going to roll our flush cutters right up to that crimp tube and snap it off. Now we can bring these back over here. And we have a choice. We can crimp the other side on right now, or we can just keep getting out our wire and stringing up. So there is our first string. So we're going to cut our wire off about right here, and I'll get some more out for the other to do the other strand. So there we go, that should be plenty right there. We'll cut that off. And now what I'm going to do is I am just going to hook this side straight up to our clasp as well. So we'll get a crimp tube on. And we're going to crimp it right up onto this side again. So looks like it's about the same. So we'll get this one crimped. Give it a good tug. That's good. So we will now clip this side off by, like I say, going straight up to the crimp tube and snapping it off. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go backwards, just like we just have right here. But we will start with our little green bead. Now we're going to go through this baby. Through the green tube. Well, not the green tube, it's a little green bead. And then through the pyramid. And through the next green one. Now, if it makes it easier for you to bead, you can always flip your piece around like so, and then bead coming this direction again. And sometimes I find it is easier to bead in that direction. I don't know why, it just is a preference. I think everybody has their own preferences of how they bead. And now through the pyramid. So we'll just keep going down the line just like that till we get all the way to the other side. So it's the green, the bumpy, the green, the pyramid, and then back to the green again. And straight on down the line till we get to the other side. Looks like I may be missing one little green, unless I can spot it around here somewhere. I just have this one left. That's all right, I have some more beside me. Though not too many more, we're just about out. So let's see, is it around here anywhere? Looks like no, so let's get out one of those little green ones. So we can finish this off. Oop. Just one. Don't have many left. 6. So here's our little green one going on. And now we can put our crimp tubes on both of these sides, because I'm pretty sure we're done here. But I will do so. Come here, you. 1, 2. Now we're going to pull this up pretty tight. We're going to see how it's going to lay, like so. And yeah, it's about perfect when I attach the other two sides onto the clasp. It's going to be right there where it will fit me perfectly. That turned out, isn't that going to be pretty? So now, so it might be about 7 1/4, since it looks like it's going to fit me fine. And so now what we need to do is bring these around like so, and they're going to go in like this. Now I'm going to take this first one off of the bead stopper so that we can get it put through. Now remember, oops, come back here. Where'd you go? There we go. We are going to need, this won't go through our green bead, so we're just going to have to pull it up from here. Come on, you. Pull up. A little bit more. There we go. And I think we're pretty good and tight from the looks of things. Not too horribly tight, obviously, because it's right there with me. But we will make sure that it's not loose and baggy anywhere. It's looking pretty good. So we will take our crimping pliers and we will crimp that crimp tube right there. Turn. Now this isn't too hard to do when it's 2 strands, but boy, when it gets to 3 strands, it gets a little bit rough some days. Okay, now we'll slide this up and cut this off. Now we just have to get the other one through. So we'll remove the bead stopper and go through the ring, up and through the crimp tube, and then pull her tight. And it looks like we want her just a little bit tighter, but not too much. Looks good there. Now we're going to take our crimping pliers, get in and crimp. We'll turn it, crimp again, and crimp until it doesn't want to crimp anymore. Pull her, make sure she's good and tight, and cut that excess wire off. There we go. Our bracelet is done. Now this clasp is pretty simple to use. You just pull it and then it just slides back on again. And there is our bracelet. And I'm pretty sure she's about perfect size for me. I don't want it really loose because we don't want our everything flopping around there. So you just get these two pieces to come close to each other. Push it there. And then push it in once you get it. Come on, you. You're a little crooked. You need to straighten up. And it must not be quite at the groove because it doesn't want to slide right in. There it goes. I just pinched myself and took it out when I tried to unpinch myself. There we go. And it's not real tight, but it's not loose either. I don't want it to be loose, so there we go. That's what it looks like. There's our bracelet. Isn't that pretty? So take it back off. Now, as I showed you, I did use most of the little green beads up. All but I think it's 6 that's in here, and I used probably, well, I've got 7 of the pyramids, and I have 5 left, so a little over half of the pyramids. So let's see how this works, how big it is. It's about 7 1/4, and so that's a really nice size. I try to be around 7 1/4, so there's what we are. These little 2-hole beads, you can use any 2-hole beads you've got. If you've got some of the delicas or whatever, you can use those. But these are what I had on hand, so that's what we used. There's a really pretty bracelet using the pyramids and the little green beads from out of our SoftFlex company's design challenge kit, Safari. I think it's a really pretty little bracelet. It turned out quite nicely. I hope you liked it too. And it's simple to make. The hardest thing is making sure that you keep the beads, the 2-hole beads, all facing the right direction. Because if you put like this side on first, when you're doing this instead of this side, this bead is going to stick up here instead of coming down here, which doesn't work real well. So anyway, there we go. There's our bracelet. I hope you enjoyed making that with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.